Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today we got a new marathon, and this is by SIDECAR Doc. Thank you so much, SIDECAR, for sponsoring the video. I do appreciate it very, very much. And this is a pretty much dedicated to SIDECAR's grandparents, so I'm super happy to do this. This is called Train Tracks. So all these songs have obviously something to do with, you know, the railroad men, and so yeah, so this is dedicated to his grandparents who were in the, you know, in the business of the railroad. In the I'm just gonna read you guys what he wrote to me. It says that this marathon is dedicated to my grandparents who were railroad men for the MKT line, the Missouri, Kansas, Texas. Both my grandmother and grandfather worked for MKT from the early 1930s to the mid 70s, all throughout Texas. She was a depot operator and he was a track maintenance man. Wow, that's so cool. You know, it's so crazy to look back at our, you know, parents and grandparents, and it's just like crazy what when they were born, you know, and in like my grandparents, like 1800 something, you know, 1800. I'm not really sure. I have to look it up, but it's just so cool to look back in history and how important these people were to where we are now today. You know, each family, each member, and just, you know, without them we wouldn't be here, especially like our grandparents. It's always like when I look at Alexia's grandma, she's now 98, and I look at her and I'm like, wow, this is the person responsible for Alexia even existing, you know. Of course her dad and her mother, but I mean, if it wasn't without, you know, Gita, that's her name, Gita, then there wouldn't be Alexia would not exist. So it's just fascinating, you know, to look back and also to see what they did and where they worked. For example, Alexia's grandfather, he worked for General Motors and stuff like that. You know, it's just fascinating. Okay, so we have 5 artists, of course, like always. Let's read because also SIDECAR gave me the list. So the first one is Joe Jackson with the title How Long Must I Wait for You? And this is from the album Jumpin' Jive, 1981. Then we have Petula Clark with Don't Sleep in the Subway. I pulled this from the Ultimate Petula Clark collection. It doesn't say the year, but I got it here from SIDECAR, 1967. Then we got James Taylor, who I love and adore, Riding on the Railroad, from the Mudslide Slim and Blue Horizon album. This is from 1972. And then we have Blues Traveler, who are going to go see. We already have tickets. They're going to be in Red Rocks in Denver. Carolina Blues from the Straight Until Morning album from 1997. One of the wildest harmonica players I've ever heard, of course. And then the last one is Flying Colors. That's one of, I guess, it's a recurring band that I see from SIDECAR, which I love, progressive rock. Last Train Home. This is from Third Degree, the album from 2019. So we have a little bit of everything, but it's a theme about, you know, the railroad men. But yeah, suggested marathon title, and I love it. It's called Train Tracks, and I think that's what I'm going to use today. I have a little bit of a speech impediment. I don't know, so I apologize. But yeah, so again, thank you so much, everybody, for being here, for liking the videos, for watching them in full. You know, I know how people don't have the time anymore, and these are long videos, so I appreciate it for you guys taking the time to watch them and liking and adding so much love and the comments. You know, I just love to see the comment section and see how full it is of really people appreciating this, you know. And also the one that I love the most is like, oh my God, I've never heard this before. That is when I'm like, okay, I did my work, you know. So yeah, all about, you know, this is all about sharing and having, you know, a little bit of fun throughout the day, you know. So apart from work, you know, and most of you guys all still work. Some of you are not working anymore, so you know, it's I think it's a good thing. Music really helps, you know. So let's start it off here with Joe Jackson, which I also love. And this is How Long Must I Wait for You? So here we go. Thanks again. Let's start.
At the station gate for a honeymoon excursion. You told me you'd meet me at the station gate, but I got a different version. Train number 1 is gone. Train number 2 is gone. Train number 3 has been gone. How long must I wait for you? Train number 4 is gone. Train number 5 is gone. Train number 6 has been gone. How long must I wait for you? I got the tickets and the reservations set for 2. Luggage waiting on the track, but I got no use for reservations without you. I gotta get the tickets back. Cause train number 1 is back. Train number 2 is back. Train number 3 has been back. How long must I wait for you? Gate, but I got a different version. Train number 1 is gone. Train number 2 is gone. Train number 3 has been gone. How long must I wait for you? Train number 4 is gone. Train number 5 is gone. Train number 6 has been gone. How long must I wait for you? I got the tickets and the reservations set for 2. Luggage waiting on the track, but I got no use for reservations without you. I gotta get the tickets back. Cause train number 1 is back. Train number 2 is back. Train number 3 has been back. How long must I wait for you? How long, baby? How long, baby? How long? How long? How long must I wait for you?
Wow, this was so different. I mean, Joe Jackson, every time I thought it was gonna be, more his new wave style, and this is during the 80s, and I love that he captured the sound, of the like 50s here, way more. This sounded more like swing, that's like the music that my my dad used to listen to so much, like big band, swing, jazz, and yeah, that's what it sounded like. And I love that this was released in 1981. Um, with I was totally thrown off. I was like, am I playing the right track? And I mean, of course I am, because I'm looking at it, but it's like, wow, this is so different. Even the cover, but it says, jump and jive. It has that vibe, Um, and what a great track, man. Really, really cool lyrics. And I love, that the whole like the announcer. That's the first place I took my my wife that no, when we went to Munich, the first place we went, because we were traveling from the airport by subway, and the subway system is pretty much like, I dominated the subway system at the age of like 6 or 7. So I used to be, like a subway kid. I would travel to school on the subway. If I wanted to go to, to the movies or anywhere, see my friends, I had to take a train. So that was my main means of transportation the first 13 years of my life. So the first thing we did when we got to Munich and we arrived at the airport, we went to I think it was, what's the station, Ostbahnhof, and from there to Hauptbahnhof, which is Haupt, what means is like the head, and there is basically, and I don't know how I did it. I remember it was like almost like a dog, like I was like just like smelling my way, and what I wanted her to see was that huge platform where there's like, I don't know, 18 trains going in all sorts of directions, to Vienna, to Rome, to Paris, and I wanted her to see it, the massive, train station, and that's on the first day, and she lost it. She was just like overwhelmed, because I guess she had seen stuff like that in movies, and it's because it's like an international terminal, for trains, and we saw all kinds of like trains, the ice, these beautiful white bullet trains, and then we saw older, locomotives, and we saw like, because the one that we boarded, the subway, it obviously looked a lot different than when I was living in Munich back in the 90s. So they changed completely the look of the train, but they still had the ones that were there in the 90s and 80s and 90s, and they were actually, those were the originals from 1970, I think 1974. That's when, or 1972, when the whole subway system was built for the Olympic Games in Munich. And there was still like the old ones that I knew, the ones from the 70s, and that I used to travel in. And when she saw it, and I was like, oh my God, those are the ones, because the one that were in circulation looked very modern and new, and you could like open them with just like, you didn't even have to touch them. It just like recognizes that you want to go in. Back when I was there, you still had to pull on the doors, and then they would open. And beautiful memory, even for me, hearing the train. And it's just a sound that's familiar, when they announce, that your train is going to leave or arrive. And it's also, I love that in Germany, it's so exact, when it says, okay, the train's going to be at 12:02, it's going to be there at 12:02, right on the dot. That's, I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's keep going. This was a great track. I loved it. And just like the whole I've always appreciated, also in the United States, the train, I got to drive a train, not drive, but sit in one from when we came from Vancouver to Seattle. And I finally knew what it was like, to travel by train here in the US. And it was great, I loved it. So I've always wanted to take an actual train, here. And we finally did it. So that was cool. All right. So, Petula Clark is next. Don't sleep in the subway. Yeah, because nobody, when it's your station, you don't get off. Has happened to me many times. So here we go.
You wander around on your own little cloud when you don't see the why or the wherefore. You walk out on me when we both disagree, 'cause to reason is not what you care for. I've heard it all a million times before. Take off your coat, my love, and close the door. Don't sleep in the subway, darling. Don't stand in the pouring rain. Don't sleep in the subway, darling. The night is long. Forget your foolish pride, nothing's wrong. Now you're beside me again. You try to be smart, then you take it to heart, 'cause it hurts when your ego is deflated. Ooh, you don't realize that it's all compromise, and the problems are so overrated. Goodbye means nothing when it's all for show. So why pretend you've somewhere else to go? Don't sleep in the subway, darling. Don't stand in the pouring rain. Don't sleep in the subway, darling. The night is long. Forget your foolish pride, nothing's wrong. Now you're beside me again. Don't sleep in the subway, darling. Don't stand in the pouring rain. Don't sleep in the subway, darling. The night is long. Forget your foolish pride, nothing's wrong. Now you're beside me again. Don't sleep in the subway, darling. Don't
So good. So this is the second song I've ever done by Petula Clark, also for Sidecar Dog. Last one we did was Downtown, and I was like, wow, because I was like, I know this voice, and it literally sounds that you can hear that it's her. And I was like, I've heard the singer before, and I know I've also Petula is just like a different, name, and I was like, I have to check, and then I'm like, Sidecar. I did a British Invasion marathon for him a couple of months ago, and it's Downtown. And you know what this reminded me of? It reminded me a little bit of the Beach Boys, the da 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 da. I don't know, but the chord progression there for a second, really cool. I love how these songs are so short, but they're so effective. They're so full of great music and hooks, and they're easily remembered. even though they're under 3 minutes. And I know it's because of the radio. Back in the day, you just didn't have that much time. So you had to be very creative, and that's, I mean, very great compositional skills from everyone back in the day. You know, the Beatles, and you know, they just had to deal with the fact that there's just not that much time. Like from on this marathon that I did for SIDECAR was the Animals, the Zombies, Lulu, and Hermits, and Petula Clark. Check it out. It's you know, it's me on the thumbnail with the you know, British flag, and yeah, check it out. Type in British Invasion and Marathon, and that's the one that you'll find. And I'm sad that sometimes, you know, these videos, they just get kind of lost, these marathons, you know, because they are so long, and you really have to be on the channel looking for them. They're not going to pop out and be recommended to you. That's kind of like the only thing that I've noticed with marathons, because since they're not monetized, you know, I guess YouTube just doesn't push them as much as they should. But again, I do get comments on videos that are like, I've not forgotten, but I'm like, wow, I did that like a lot of time, like very long time ago, and I love that they're still getting views, you know. So yeah, this was great. Now, James Taylor, I mean, what can I say of James Taylor? I really love this man, you know. I love his music, I love his voice, his guitar playing, his singing, the way he the composition, you know, style. He's just gold, you know, pure gold. So here we go with Riding on the Railroad.
We are riding on a railroad, singing someone else's song, forever standing by that crossroad. Take your side and step along. We are sailing away on a river to the sea, and maybe you and me can meet again. We are riding on a railroad, singing someone else's song. Sing along. Time to time I tire of the life that I've been leading, town to town, day by day. There's a man up here, he claims to have his hands upon the reins. There are chains upon his hands, and he's riding upon a train. Oh Lord, we've been riding on a railroad, singing someone else's song, forever standing by that crossroad. Take your side and step along. We are sailing away on a river to the sea. Baby, you and me can meet again now. We've been riding upon a railroad, singing someone else's song.
Wow. I love it, man. Ah, man, this music is so good. I mean, I think that was, I'm almost sure it was a banjo, if not a mandolin, but I'm sure it was a banjo that sounded definitely like a band drive one right here, literally right there. That's the only one that I'm keeping. It's because it's very it's round, so it's harder to it's like clamped against something so it doesn't fall. The guitars, and we're gonna have a new family member, a new instrument very soon. It's gonna be a surprise. We're gonna do an unboxing, I'm sure. We want to do that in celebration of 100,000. I mean, it's literally now 1,000 and something subscribers away. So we already looked at the whole we asked Google, how long it takes to get the button and all that stuff, and it takes about a month. So yeah, it's gonna be a while until we have that button. But yeah, today as I'm recording this, we're at 98,363 subscribers. So a little bit less than 2,000 subs, and we're there. And then we'll continue, and we might even make a second channel. Because there's a lot of people who love our Spanish videos. I mean, the views they get is crazy. Every single song we post in Spanish just gets 20,000, 30,000 views. They're very passionate, about their music, and yeah, that's just the way it is. So not to have it so mixed up, because a lot of people are a lot of the people that only listen to music in English, they're like, well, what is this? And then vice versa, people that only listen to Spanish music, they kind of dislike the English videos. And it's just if you just separate the whole thing, I think it's a better idea. And it's so weird because I love all music in all languages. Now it's also, I guess, a little bit different because I do understand Spanish and German and Italian, and I can just enjoy that music. But I mean, I'm more of a instrumental guy anyway, so I listen to instrumental music more than anything. So, and even if I listen to music that I don't understand the language of, I don't care. It's still music and it's beautiful, and still I'm gonna get something out of it that's very valuable. And I just recommend that. So if you want to check out our Spanish videos, I would really highly suggest you do, because they're really good. There's some really good music. Just musicians that are, that play with Pat Metheny and with really big names in the, British and American music business. And they also have their own music, and those are the names, I guess, sometimes that people don't know. And I get it, sometimes the mentality is, if I don't know it, then it can't be good, So, and that's, I guess, sometimes a mistake, because there's so much good music out there that we don't know, and we're really missing out on some things, So yeah, if you want to check out our Spanish, and I tell this the same thing in our Spanish videos. I tell them, hey, listen to music in English. It doesn't matter if you don't understand the language. Check out the music. You might get inspired, especially if you're a musician. So yeah, this was beautiful. I love the banjo. I love the violin. Went really wild there. Really, really cool for such a short song, And the guitar playing, the bass, was all over. And right now, as you can see behind me, the bass is always out. Alexia's really, studying now, and as much as she can. And it's gonna get more and more. I know when you start off, it can be a lot. It can be very intimidating, But she's doing very well. She has so much talent and such a great ear. So I'm very proud of her, and her progress is just amazing. All right, so another band here that I love and that I can't wait to see here in Red Rocks, Blues Traveler. We already have the tickets, and this is Carolina Blues, And yeah, I think the first time I heard Blues Traveler, I couldn't even believe it. For a second there, I thought that it was a guitar, an electric guitar. I think there was some distortion on the harmonica, but just the scales this guy was playing, and the speed, and the also the scales were just like something I'd never heard on a harmonica, you know, and playing arpeggios and stuff like that. So let's see what this song has for us. Carolina Blues by the Blues Traveler. Here we go.
Trying to make a train at sunrise. I'm gonna have to run a red light. Trying to make a train at sunrise. I'm gonna have to run a red light. Tag me with my Carolina. You know the girl can be up all night. And when my Carolina throw down, you know the girl know how to fight. Don't think we're gonna make it. There's nothing else that anyone could do. I don't think we're gonna make it. There's nothing else that anyone could say. I almost got the feeling that Carolina locking it their way. Said I'm waiting on the train man to wait and take the plane. Ain't no way. You what I say.
Like I said, like the harmonica, I mean, you could, I love that it was, you know, the harmonica solo and then the guitar solo, so you could hear how close it sounds. It almost sounds like the harmonica is a more distorted guitar, you know, because I don't know, maybe it's a thicker sound, it's a wind instrument, but I mean, did you hear that? I mean, the scales, everything that was in there. There was, you know, blues, you know, jazz. I mean, he kind of like plays it all, you know. There's, I don't know, I can't really pick him apart without slowing it down, but I mean, I just love the variety of of musical language he puts into his solos with an harmonica. It's not like you can bend or you can but he does he plays all sorts of stuff that's super tricky on the guitar, and he does it on their harmonica. So even the guitar solo seemed a little bit like simple compared to the harmonica solo. I love the vibe here, the bass, the drums. It's super heavy but not too much. It's just perfect. This band has just an amazing sound. The singer is so good as well. I don't know if the singer is the harmonica player. I'm gonna look it up in a second. But man, these guys, like I can't wait. And it's almost like, I mean, the harmonica is such an essential part of the sound of this band. So without this man, it would be over, like literally. So it says here, like, I'm gonna go down straight to this album, Straight Until Morning. Okay, and it says here harmonica and vocals. So it's John Popper. He's the man. He is the man. And I think he has been the harmonica player ever, like since the beginning. Let's see. Yeah, he has been on all the albums. Yeah, he's basically, I mean, and I don't want to take any credit away from, Brendan Hill, who looks like has been the drummer since they started, and Chan Kinchla on guitar. They've been with the band forever. And then Tad Kinchla and Ben Wilson, looks like also from the last 20 years on keyboards and bass. So I mean all of them, but John is like, without him the band would be just I guess a normal sounding amazing band, but with him and that harmonica is just something very, very different. All right, so let's keep going. I'm loving it. Wow. Yeah, like I said, I'm looking up already here the next band, Flying Colors, and now I just wanted to see, now that Mike Portnoy has moved back to Dream Theater, I don't know who their drummer is, but I'll find out in a second. Third Degree is the album that we're looking at, man. But this song, Blues Traveler, I mean, I haven't heard a song that has not impressed me, so I'm not even surprised that this was amazing. But here we have Flying Colors, Third Degree, 2019. So that's pretty much Mike left Dream Theater in 2011 or something, 2010. Oh wow, it says here there's something from Steely Dan. Bassist David LaRue saw Geronimo as a bit of a departure for Flying Colors, and it reminded him of Steely Dan. Oh wow. Cool. Okay, so who is on this? We have Neil Morris, Amazing. We have Mike Portnoy on the drums here, Steve Morris on lead guitar, Dave LaRue on bass, and Casey McPherson on lead guitar and vocals. Awesome. Yeah, this is like, yeah, it's a super group, you know. And we're gonna do a Last Train Home. Now let's see, what is that, their last album? Looks like. Okay, interesting. Well, I hope it's not the last one. I hope they, you know, I'm still waiting for another Symphony X album. Like, they haven't released anything in the last 9 years. And I remember 9 years ago when their last album came out, I was like, I can't believe they finally released a album, because it had been, I don't know, I think 15 years. They really take their time, you know, with their albums. Let's see. I know this is not a Symphony X marathon, but yeah. Yeah, it was because I was, you know, there when these albums were coming out. The Odyssey 2002. I remember when I got it, and then Paradise Lost 2007, and then Iconoclast 2011, and then finally 2015. But yeah, it has been pretty much silent since then, which crazy. It's 9 years without releasing an album. But sometimes that's what they've taken, you know. 7 years, 4 years. It's never been this long, you know. This is the longest I don't know. You know, maybe it's just too expensive to tour or to release albums. Michael Romy has been releasing albums by himself. But yeah, let's hope that they, you know, come back with something. They still tour. That's the great thing. Okay, this is A Last Train Home by Flying Colors. Here we go. Mike Portnoy on the drums, and we got Neil Morris, who's an amazing singer and keyboard player. Wait, I just want to put up, here it is. And we got his brother, Steve Morris. Wait a minute, it's not his brother. Steve Morris, you know, Steve Morris from Kansas and Deep Purple, and he used to be his brother. I'm such an idiot. Let's see. Dixie Dregs. Yeah. And Allman Brothers. Wow, he's been such great and bands, you know, just Kansas, like, wow. All right, here we go.
First you check your list of all the past upon you. Blow a kiss, you're not remiss to throw your love away. While I'm waiting for the day heaven's hallowed honkered heart is hoping for a halo. Princess plays her perfect part and pines for yesterday. While I'm waiting for the day.
So good. Everyone.
Stepping on the cold cement, doors are slowly opening, waving back, you leave alone. Don't be sad, you're going home. Standing back, you leave alone. Don't be sad, you're going home.
What a band, man. It is. This band is perfect for people transitioning, you know, from prog rock to prog metal, I guess, and or people that just maybe, because what I see a lot is a lot of people who are into like Yes and Genesis and Pink Floyd, and they're kind of like very careful with metal because of all the type of all the styles of metal that exists, and there's a lot of metal that I don't even listen to because it's just too heavy. But progressive metal is like, for example, Dream Theater, you know, is just so good. And I think this band is perfect to, like, if you're listening to Rush or Yes or, you know, Kansas or stuff like that, Marillion, and you want to make that step to Dream Theater or something in those lines, you know, Symphony X, or this would be a really cool band to take and put in the middle, because it has, you know, the complexity and virtuosity of those bands, but without losing that, you know, that mainstream sound, you know, that almost, I don't want to call it pop, but it has, you know, a softer approach, and it's just easier to digest. Sometimes Dream Theater can get very intimidating, you know, especially because it is very distorted. And this is as well, but it has a lot of sections that are super interesting and difficult to play, and I guess also to understand if you're not into that kind of stuff. But it just made easy, you know, even in 10 minutes, the song never got too overwhelming, you know, and but still never lost its, you know, progginess and the prog that they like, these players, you know, they want to go a little bit into the out there, you know, like you got Steve Morse, you got Mike Portnoy, you got these people from Spock's Beard and Transatlantic, you know, and they want to take you on a trip, you know, and but without, you know, making it too complex. And I really, if you like this, you know, if you like Flying Colors, I really highly recommend you Dream Theater. They're an amazing band, and I mean, it's no surprise that they're this big, you know. They're one of the biggest metal acts right now, especially progressive metal, you know. And yeah, Metallica. I didn't even realize halfway through the video, I was like, oh God, we're listening to like James Taylor and I'm got a Metallica shirt on. But there you see, you know, I like all types of music. I don't look down on anything. There's nothing that's off the table for me, you know. I just try to take in everything that I can and take out the good parts, even if it's the most easy, you know, music to perform, or if it's just music that's not that interesting. There's still something that you can take off, that you can take from and use it as, you know, yeah, to get inspired by, you know. That's how I see music. I used to be very closed-minded when it came to music. If it wasn't metal, it wasn't worth my time, stuff like that. But I've changed very much. And yeah, that's I guess as a musician, you have to open up your, you know, the door and listen to more than just one style. And now I listen to everything, and not just because of the channel. I've always been a little bit more open before the channel, you know, but definitely the channel has taught me a lot of music that I didn't know, and now that I love, you know, and I can listen to, you know, Southern rock, you know, and I can listen to just acoustic pop or new wave, or, you know, like, and I can enjoy it and I can love it, you know. And then I can go back and listen to death metal, which I really don't do. I've never been a death metal guy. I've always been like a heavy metal, you know, listener, just classic stuff, you know, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Judas Priest, that kind of thing. I've never really delved into death metal too much. I'm sure it's interesting, but I still have to, you know, get into it. As you know, I've tried a little bit on the channel, and I loved it. So like I said, you know, everything has great stuff and something that you can learn from, especially if you like to write music, you know. Again, thank you so much, Sidecar. This was an amazing marathon full of a lot of surprises, you know, from Joe Jackson playing, you know, like this really nice almost big band sound, you know, like from the 50s. Petula Clark being, you know, what she's, you know, known for, great vocalist. And it reminded me, and immediately when I heard her sing, I was like, yeah, that's the singer from Downtown. And then James Taylor, I mean, I can't say good enough things about him. He's just a legend. Blues Traveler, I mean, come on, what's not to like? And then Flying Colors, I mean, yeah, next level stuff, like really, really good. I loved it. And all related to, you know, the trains and the railroad men. So thank you so much. It was a great idea. Thank you so much again, Sidecar, for sponsoring this, for making it happen. Please, everyone, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you like this, which one was your favorite song? Any ideas that you would make a second marathon out of this? Let me know. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next one.